Dear students, good afternoon. This is your chapter 1 Environment. The page 1 of the book is in front of you. I hope you have read this story. If not, you go through the story. In this story, a child came to school after a long time or long break and found that the area which was once lush green covered by the marigold and butterflies is totally dug up. He was in tears. Even the principal too sadly replied to the child, "Dear child, our environment is changing day by day." So, the first question that comes in your mind is, what is environment? In very simple term, you can say whatever you see in our surrounding is called environment. This may be building, road, benches, houses, gardens, vehicles, whatever you see in your surroundings is your environment. Actually, environment is our basic life support system. It provides the air we breathe, the water we drink, the food we eat, and the land where we live. And we are compelled to modify our surrounding environment. As you know, we need to have more and more land for living purposes, for making hospitals, for making schools, for making railway lines, etc. As the population grows, the level of development upgrades, we need to modify our surrounding. So it's very important to know what actually constitutes our environment. Two things constitute our environment. One is physical environment, second is human made environment. Even the human beings themselves are part of environment. On page number 2, you must see this diagram, this picture. It depicts the concept very well. You see components of environment. On one side it's natural, that includes biosphere, lithosphere, atmosphere or water, or in a reverse way, water, air, land, and combination of all these three is biosphere. Human made environment, buildings, parks, bridges, roads, industries, monuments, whatever you can think of made by the human beings. And human themselves, as an individual, as a family, as a community, as a religion, as an educational institution, as an economic activity doer, or even political situation. These are all components of the environment. You must read this diagram, or you must go through this diagram in detail properly. This diagram will help you in understanding what environment means. So from the above conversation, we have understood that the place, people, things, nature, man-made objects that surround any living organism is called an environment. It is a combination of natural as well as a human-made phenomena. On one side, we have natural environment. It may be of both types, biotic as well as abiotic. Biotic and abiotic, I hope you understand. Biotic means the world of living organisms, that is plant and animals, and abiotic means the world of non-living elements, that is land. Apart from this physical phenomena, we have another part is a human environment. It reveals the activities, creations and interactions among human beings. Actually, human beings are equally important, or rather more important, in changing the surrounding environment. Now, next point is a natural environment. Land, water, air, plant and animals comprise the natural environment. You are familiar with the meaning of lithosphere, hydrosphere, atmosphere and biosphere. I hope you remember these words. Natural environment. It includes lithosphere, hydrosphere, atmosphere, and biosphere. I hope in your previous class you discussed about all these spheres in detail with your teacher. Again we are going to revise lithosphere. First of all, let us take up it. Lithosphere is actually the solid crust or the topmost part of the earth crust. It is made up of rocks and minerals and covered by very thin layer of the material which is known as soil. Soil is very important for our survival because it helps in growing of plants and other natural vegetation as well as man-made vegetation. So lithosphere is an irregular surface with various landforms. I hope you remember the landforms. Landforms are mountains, plateaus, plains, valleys, waterfalls, rapids, deltas. I hope you remember. So lithosphere is the domain that provides us forest, grasslands for grazing of animals, land for agriculture and other human activities, be it settlements or agriculture. It is also source of all the minerals we use in the modern day, be it iron ore, copper, zinc, salt, bauxite, mica, whatever you can think of. Second is hydrosphere. As the word itself depicts, hydrosphere means the sphere of water. So it comprises various sources of water and different type of water bodies like rivers, lakes, sea, oceans, canals, swimming pools. All these are water bodies, and all these are essential for all living organisms. We cannot survive without hydrosphere. Next is the atmosphere. Atmosphere is a thin layer of gases that surrounds the earth. The gravitational force of the earth holds the atmosphere around it and it protects us from the harmful rays and scorching heat of the sun. And it consists of a lot of gases and water vapor, dust particles. The changes in the atmosphere produce change in the weather as well as climate. So plant and animal kingdom together make biosphere. Next point is that plant and animal kingdom as well as all living, you can say, organisms, they constitute biosphere. They all survive in biosphere. Biosphere is actually combination of lithosphere, hydrosphere and atmosphere. So it's a narrow zone of the earth where all these three spheres meet, interact with each other and they support life. Different organisms might be in need of all these spheres in different proportions. For example, for us, lithosphere, hydrosphere are very important. Atmosphere may not be that much important, but for the birds, atmosphere is most important, and for fishes or aquatic life, hydrosphere is most important. So the importance of the sphere might be a bit changed between the different living organisms, but ultimately we need all these three.